Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pheno Field in Milford, Massachusetts for Day 2 of the Legion Baseball State Tournament. It's Ashland Post-77 Baseball on HCAM Television in Hopkinton and WACA-TV in Ashland. Tom Nappy and Larry Sacklad on the call. Connor Donovan is on camera this evening as Post-77 entered the winner's bracket after a great win to start off the state tournament as they took down Somerset 16-2. The bats were flying yesterday for Post-77, and they hope to continue that today against a very familiar opponent as they will take on Zone 5 rival Newton for this state tournament matchup. They certainly have gotten a good look at Newton this season, Larry, and they came out on the short side of the two meetings this year, but they are hoping to reverse that luck in this state tournament matchup. And Larry, you've seen this Newton team before. What are your thoughts on this game tonight?
Well, I don't see a lot of players that were in the last game. I'm not seeing either catcher, the catcher that played against Milford last night, and not the one that played against Post-77. I am familiar with Newton, being a 30-year resident, and I know where their post is down in Nonantum. So you folks that are interested, you go to Wikipedia and look up Nonantum, Massachusetts. They actually have their own language down there that's been talked about on the late night shows. But 77 has shown me a lot. And just taking their infield today, they looked very crisp compared to their usual infield.
Well, it should certainly be a great game, but without further ado, we're going to go to the national anthem right now.
Good evening, everyone. I ask you to repeat after me the American Legion Baseball Code of Sportsmanship. As an American Legion Baseball player, coach, or official, I will keep the rules, keep the faith with my teammates, keep my temper, keep myself fit, keep a star hollow in defeat, keep my pride under in victory, keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body. Have a good game, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we honor our country with our national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pheno Field in Milford, Massachusetts for the state tournament matchup between two Zone 5 foes, Newton Post 440 and Ashland Post 77. Newton finished the regular season 13-6-1 overall, and they got a very impressive win over Milford on night one of the state tournament. Of course, Milford, the host team of this year's state tournament. Ashland Post 77. They are 16-6 overall. They finished the regular season 12-6, and they ended up getting a 16-2 victory yesterday afternoon. And Larry, they came into the state tournament ready to play, as they made the statement yesterday that they are not fooling around, and they are ready to play some serious baseball here at Pheno Field.
They only had to play 7 innings because it was a mercy game, and mercifully for us, we got out of this 115-degree press box.
Right.
And the same fate met Somerset this afternoon when they played Milford. They got mercied again. So they came down here, had 31 runs put on them, and they scored 6. So they, Barnstable, and Northampton are out.
Absolutely, and we'll go over more of the other games in the tournament throughout the broadcast. Let's take a look at the Post 77 Diamond. Jake Obid is the pitcher. His battery mate is Sean Jouette behind home plate. Zach Pessin over at first base. The second baseman, Ronan Bates, as Jimmy Hodgson, the first hitter of the game, steps in. Ball outside on the first pitch. Jackson Horning, the shortstop. Lewis Rossi over at third base. From left to right, Ben Thomas, Brad Seymour, and Tom Onsi for Post 77 as Obid delivers another ball there. 2-0 to Jimmy Hodgson, the shortstop for Newton. Let's take a look at this Newton batting order. Jimmy Hodgson, the shortstop, leading things off. Tom Byrne, the center fielder, batting second, as that one is outside. Jack Marzjanek is the second baseman, batting third. Mike Gately, the catcher, hitting cleanup. Brendan Mignon, the first baseman, batting fifth. Matt Swain, the left fielder, batting sixth. That one inside, and that is a 4-pitch walk to start things off. Batting seventh is Henry Bonenfant, the DH. Batting eighth, Rich Alexi, who is the right fielder. Batting ninth, the third baseman, Noah Shelton. And the pitcher is Brian Coker for Post 440. That one outside, 5 straight balls thrown by Jake Obid. And Obid had a pretty good game offensively, playing outfield yesterday. Came up with a couple of those, couple of the many hits that Post 77 had in the 16-2 victory. Runner taking a lead off of first. That pitch just high. It is a beautiful night here at Pheno Field as the lights are on. 68 degrees, clear, pretty clear skies. A few clouds in the area, but none of them threatening. And it is just a beautiful, crisp night for baseball. Wind up and the pitch. There's a strike.
Flag is standing still in center field, so that shouldn't affect anything today.
Right. Very little, if any, wind out there. From the stretch, runner leading off of first, set to deliver the 2-1. And there's another strike.
Jewett did a nice job pulling that one in.
Tom Byrne, the hitter. Jimmy Hodgson over at first. Top of the first. Here at Pheno, we got about a 8-10 start to this one. And we'll take you through all the results of the state tournament so far here at Pheno Field. From the stretch is Obid, runner leading off of first. The check-in, runner slides back safe. Well, in the first round, it kicked off yesterday, Saturday, July 22nd. First game, 9:30 a.m. Braintree defeated Shrewsbury 6-5. Shrewsbury came back and threatened towards the end of the game, but Braintree was able to finish them off to stay in the winner's bracket. Northampton defeated Barnstable 11-1. That was a 4:30 game. We were the second game of the day. Ashland beating Somerset 16-2 as there is strike 3, one away. That'll bring up Jack Marzjanek, the second baseman. And then the final game, of course, it was the host team, Milford, with the nightcap taking on Newton, but Newton got the victory over Post 59. Despite Milford having a 6-3 lead at one point, Newton came away with the 11-8 victory to finish off the first night of the state tournament. That one's followed into the backstop, 0-1. And then action so far today, the first game, 9:30 a.m., in the losers bracket, Shrewsbury, they got a W, knocking Barnstable out of the 2-loss elimination tournament with a 9-3 win. And then you had Milford get back on the winning side of things as they took down Somerset 15-4 and knocked them out of the tournament. And then the game that happened just before us, Braintree over Northampton in the winners bracket, 13-8. Braintree 2-0 in state tournament play as that one's fouled away.
Newton's hitters seem to be very aggressive tonight, much more so than the last time we saw them. And they were an aggressive running team, my memory serves me right, but all they've done against Jake Obed is taken a couple show-me steps over there at first base and haven't.
And Newton's been hitting the ball very well. Checking at first, the ball is going to get away, and that is going to allow Hodgson the easy advance to second base.
I was just going to say, Jake Obed had a couple of pickoff throws over there that looked real good, showing quick feet. That's only one extra base on a throw from an infielder that goes out of play.
As Marzjanek will take some time to get ready for the next pitch. That one's fouled away. Count is 0-2 on Marzjanek. Jake Obed had a nice 2 RBI double yesterday in the victory over Somerset in a 3-run second inning as this has popped up. Obed calling for it. The runner got in his way. The runner ran right into Obed as he was trying to make the catch.
Called him out.
And he should be out.
Well, it was a foul ball, but
right. But that would have been an easy catch for Obed if the runner was not in his way. Coach Johnson does not like that. He's going to come out and I think try to cool down Obed a little bit. He knows Jake Obed is not happy over that situation. And he doesn't want Obed to get into any trouble where he would get thrown out of the game. So I think he's trying to cool him down here. And now Marzjanek is hearing something from the umpire he's not liking. So I wonder if he received some kind of warning or maybe they changed the call to call him out. So, Larry, I mean, what's the rule on that situation? I know it was a foul ball, but do you think that's runner's interference?
The defensive player has the right to the ball, and the offensive player, runner hitter here, has to get out of the way.
Now, does that change if it's a foul ball? That's
I don't think so.
I could see the umpire having for not calling runner's interference. Obed throws that one outside.
We've got our fine staffers on the other side there talking about the same call.
1-2 count. If I'm the umpire, I'm calling that hitter out. That was blatant interference. That one low. And I think
I would have rung him up.
Might have just warned Obed about something. Obed is still, I think, a little bit heated over that call, and I can't blame him. Runner leading off of second. Obed takes a look and now is set to deal. This is hit in the air to right field, and that is going to drop down for a base hit. Being waved around third is Hodgson, and it is going to be 1-0 Newton, an RBI double for Marzjanek.
Maybe Sean Jewett should go out and talk to Jake right now, because he feels as though he was interfered with, and then the kid gets a second chance.
He was interfered with.
Base hit.
No doubts about that as Gately steps in. I mean, isn't that exact situation why that rule exists?
True. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
Right.
The fielder has the right to the ball.
Runner leading off of second. That's followed into the backstop. I thought that one was
the batter runner
in the press box for a moment.
Yeah, I'll cover you. But the batter runner has that 45-foot box that he's got to stay in just in case the catcher gets a bunt.
That's fouled into the backstop, 1-2.
If he's outside or inside that 45-foot box and the catcher throws down and hits him in the back, he's out. Oh.
Right. Line up and the pitch. That one low. Yeah, I'm not liking that call. That certainly, or the non-call, I should say. The 2-2. Swinging strike got him. Second strikeout for Obid. That'll bring up Brendan Mignon, the first baseman. Obid working pretty quickly out there so far tonight, Larry.
Yeah, exactly. This kid up at the plate is probably their top pitcher. He may not be available because he may have pitched late into the zone playoffs against Waltham, but he's the number 2 pitcher at BC High behind Mike Vassell, who's already committed to University of Virginia. He did so in his verbal commitment.
As this is up the third base side, it gets by Rossi. That's a base hit. Another run going to try to score. The throw in is not going to be in time. It's 2-0 Newton. An RBI base hit for Mignon. He advanced to second on the throw in. Janik scores. And that'll bring up Matt Swain with 1 on, 2 outs, 2 in. Matt Swain's the left fielder. Coming into this game, Jake Obid was the team leader behind Sean Babineau pitching-wise. He's thrown the most innings for post 77 this season, 31 and a third, a 2.68 ERA. And he's throwing from the stretch right now as Newton with the early rally here. There's a strike.
Nice breaking pitch by Jake. That third base area has been haunted over there all day long. I don't know what's underneath there, but Lou almost had his head taken off.
As this is hit high in the air to right field, and that is going to drop just in front of Onsi, and another run is going to score for Newton. An RBI single for Swain. That was a tough ball to get to. Onsi almost had it, but fell just short of making the catch. It'll bring up Henry Bonenfant, the DH. Runner leading off of first. And the runner's going to take off. They got him. Caught stealing is Swain. But Newton does plate 3 runs and leads the game 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the first on HCAM and WACA-TV. Great. Bottom of the first inning, post 77 coming up to the plate, trailing 3-0. Jake Obid, the pitcher, to start things off. Takes the first pitch low from Brian Coker. Let's take a look at the Newton Diamond. Brian Coker on the mound, Mike Gately behind home plate. Brendan Mignon is the first baseman. Jack Mars-Janik, the second baseman. The shortstop, Jimmy Hodgson. Noah Shelton at third base, as there's a ball. From left to right, Matt Swain, Thomas Byrne, Richard Alexi. 4 post 440. We'll go over the post 77 batting order after this pitch, as this is hit high in the air over to center field. Ranging under it and making the catch is Thomas Byrne, 1 away. It'll bring up Ronan Bates, the second baseman. The order for post 77 is Jake Obid, the pitcher, just led things off with a flyout. Ronan Bates batting second, playing second base. Jackson Horning, the shortstop, batting third. Ben Thomas hitting cleanup, playing left field. Zach Pessin, the first baseman, batting fifth. Lewis Rossi, the third baseman, batting sixth. That pitch inside. Tom Onsi, the right fielder, batting seventh. Batting eighth is the catcher, Sean Jouette. And rounding out the order is Brad Seymour, the center fielder for Ashland, post 77.
Couple of things, Tom. Towards the end of the inning, as Ashland was walking off, Jake Obid was absolutely hot. And his teammates had to corral him a little bit. But on the flip side, Sean Jouette made a nice throw down to second base. I thought the kid had it swiped. But Sean erased him.
Yep, that was a great throw up to second base to get the runner. And after that heated situation for Obid, and of course the 3-run rally that Newton had brewing, you certainly wanted to get out of that inning as quickly as possible.
We did get some third-party information from a patched umpire that he would have called that runner out for interfering with Jake Obit.
I think most umpires would have called him out. But it is a judgment call, we were also told as well. So the umpire has to make the judgment. Was it avoidable?
I'm not going to say anything sarcastic.
I don't think there's any doubt in this situation, but it is what it is. A swinging strike there, 2 away. Jackson Horning will step in.
Coming to the plate, number 5, the shortstop, Jackson Horner.
Post 440 in white, wearing their whites today, and Ashland wearing their blues.
Yep. Post 77 is the home team for this one. It was decided on a coin flip. That one outside, 1-0.
Byrne, the center fielder last night, made an outstanding catch, one of the best you'll ever see, against post 59. Laid out for it.
There's a strike, 1-1. Ashland and Newton met up 2 times this season, right back to the pitcher, and he will make the catch on the comebacker. A 1-2-3 bottom of the first. To the top of the second we go. Newton leading Ashland 3-0 on HCAM and WACA-TV. Top of the second inning, a 3-0 lead for Newton. 7, 8, and 9 due up. Henry Bonenfant, Rich Alexi, and Noah Shelton to step in for post 440. So we'll get set to deal. Leg lift and the pitch. Outside it goes. 1-0 count.
His strike to ball ratio isn't looking very good right now, but we'll hope he'll settle down with the bottom of the order.
He deals. And that one is in there for a strike. Here are the scenarios for Ashland. If they win tonight, they'll be back here tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. That one is hit up the middle, picked up by the second baseman, throw to first, not a problem. 4-3. Goes the first hitter of the inning. That'll bring up Rich Alexi, the right fielder. So if Ashland wins tonight, they will be back here at Fino tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. scheduled start time against Braintree. If they lose, they will be the second game of the day, a 4:30 p.m. start against Shrewsbury. Swinging strike there. Either opponent is going to be some good competition as we are down to the final 6 here in the state tournament. Of course, it started off with 8 who were eliminated this weekend. And a couple more will get eliminated tomorrow night. That one outside.
Shrewsbury was a surprise to me, as they went 24-2, I believe, in Zone 5 this year.
Zone 4.
Zone 4, excuse me. I get my 4s and my 5s mixed up.
It happens.
Got to hold up my fingers. But Braintree beat them, and they have a very, very deep pitching staff, so...
Up the right side, foul, 2-2.
Tomorrow, weather permitting, we'll get to see Sean Babineau. He'll make an appearance after a 91-pitch effort against Andover.
Right. Weather could be an issue tomorrow. And there is strike 3. That is the 3rd strikeout of the game for Jake Obid. 2 away. Noah Shelton to step in.
Coming to the plate, number 6, third baseman, Noah Shelton.
Jake's got to be happy with those 2 quick outs. Keep his pitch count down.
Wind up in the pitch. In there for a strike on the breaking ball.
I think Coach Johnson has a decision to make at 75 pitches and the weather report as far as rest is concerned. But Tom Monzi was under the 75 pitch mark. He pitched 55 pitches yesterday, and they got him out of there because the lead was so huge.
As this is up the middle, picked up by Obed as he gloves it and throws it over to first. 1-3 goes Shelton, and it's a 1-2-3 top half of the second. To the bottom of the second we go. Newton leading Ashland 3-0. Bottom of the second inning, 4, 5, and 6 due up for post 77. Ben Thomas, Zach Pessin, and Lewis Rossi. Brian Coker set for his second inning of work. Post 77 is going to need to get the bats going. That one outside.
Jake Obed made a little bit of a statement as he caught that ball on a short hop to end the inning. He wanted that post 440 runner to run all the way, and he gunned him out with a little extra oomph on the ball.
Oh, yeah. He's playing angry, you can tell. We'll see if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but as of right now, it seems like he is fired up, and he wants – I think he wants to win this game more than anything right now after that call. 0-2.
He had to throw some extra pitches. He threw 40 through 2 innings.
Coming into the state tournament, Ben Thomas hit a .380 this season, a .508 on-base percentage, and that's in 50 at-bats. Pretty impressive numbers by the cleanup man. The 1-2.
And a cleanup man that can run. Sorry, didn't mean to step on you there. But he can go get him on the base paths.
Wind up in the pitch. And this is up the middle, gloved by the second baseman. Throw to first, pulls him off the bag, and Thomas is safe on the error. An errant throw from the second baseman. That'll bring up Zach Pessin with a man on. Thomas had a good first game of the state tournament, got a pair of hits. Also sacrifice RBI, had 3 RBIs overall, and 2 stolen bases.
Good
Leading
hustle.
off of first. There's a strike. Pessin gets the sign from Coach Johnson. Ben Thomas leading off of first. Wind up in the pitch. That was low, and Bach. Bach is called. Is that what that was?
It's either a hit by pitch or a
hit by
balk
pitch?
because he pointed to his hand.
What was that?
I don't know. Home plate umpire is having a difficult time tonight.
Oh, the hit by pitch. So the umpire saying that it hit Pessin on the hand. And actually, if it was a balk, I don't think Pessin would get first base. So it had to be hit by pitch. It would just be Thomas that's allowed to go over to second. But since they gave Pessin the bag, that had to be what it was. And indeed, he was hit by the pitch.
Is my buddy.
So now 2 on, no outs. Lewis Rossi to step in.
I think Newton's got the book on Lou. Third baseman is playing in for a bunt.
He had a sensational game against Somerset. 3 for 4 and a walk. Runner taking off from second to throw to third is going to get into left field, and Thomas is going to be held up at third. Good base coaching by Johnson. If they sent him, he more than likely would have been thrown out.
Well, it's always hard when you're a third baseman, you're playing in, thinking bunt, and the runner from second takes off, so he's out of your peripheral vision. And he had that base swiped easy, but the catcher just threw the ball away.
Yeah, and that was a terrible throw up to third from Gately. And the runner leading off of first, they're going to try to see if they could get Thomas to come home. And we've seen this before from post 77. They are trying to get them suckered into worrying about the runner at first. And as Thomas comes home, He is going to be called out. It took a while for the umpire to signal that he was out. Pessin does advance to second. So Thomas thrown out at home, and I don't know about that that plan, Larry. I think you had no outs, 2 on.
We had
Lewis
one out.
Rossi at the plate. I mean, don't you have to see what Rossi does before you do something like that?
I think so. The last 2 or 3 times they've tried that play, it hasn't gone well.
Rossi's going to hit this one up the middle on the ground, picked up by the shortstop, throw over to first, and they get the out. Pessin does push up to third. 6-3 for Rossi, 2 away. Tom Onsi to step in.
He's swinging the bat well.
He certainly is. Gately deals, or excuse me, Cocker deals.
He doesn't seem to possess a lot of gas on his fastball.
The 1-0. Upstairs.
Gately caught a long game last night.
He certainly did. Swinging strike there. Maybe that was part of the reason for sending Thomas to third before, knowing that Gately was well worked last night, and maybe his throws weren't the best. Swinging strike, Onsi goes down, and that will wrap up the second inning. We will head to the third. Newton leading Ashland 3-0 on HCAM Television and WACA-TV. Top of the third inning, Jimmy Hodgson starts things off with a single. As this one is up the left side, that'll get through for a base hit as Thomas Byrne will have the second hit of the inning for post 440.
They're aiming for Lou Rossi down there. He was in for a bunt, which would have made sense, but he slashed it down there.
Jack Marzjanek, the third hitter in the lineup, and second baseman steps in. Top of the order, making things happen for post 440 as that one is fouled into the backstop. In the first inning, Hodgson, who led things off this inning, walked. And then, of course, Marzjanek, the hitter now, had an RBI double to score Hodgson. That was the first run of the game. There's a strike.
Nice curveball by Jake Obid.
And then Brendan Mignon hit a RBI single to score Marzjanek, followed by a Matt Swain base hit to score Mignon. Fouled off into the parking lot towards Larry's car.
Yes. Call 1-800-54-GIANT.
0-2. Both runners leading off as this is hit in the air to right field, and it will be caught by Onsi. The runner from second is going to try to advance and will, as the throw in is cut off by Hornung. So Hodgson advances on the fly out. That'll bring up Mike Gately, the catcher.
Ashland's going to try and spin 2. Peel play down to second base. Obid stepped off the back of the rubber and threw to Jackson Horning, telling the umpire he did not tag up, but the umpire waved him safe.
That is fouled off. What do you think? Did he tag?
I wasn't watching, to be honest. But once you get into the editing room, Tom, you can feel free to slow that down.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. I thought he tagged, but I wasn't really paying attention to that either.
Good block.
That one got away from Jouett and allows Byrne to advance. And Jouett did not want to throw up due to the fact that Hodgson is over at third base. Certainly an understandable decision there by Jouett.
Now the force is off. So a line drive and somebody not paying attention on the bag. The only way they can double them up.
1-1 fouled off. That one hit the dumpster behind us.
Nobody lives in there, do they?
Or the storage container, I should say. The 1-2. Hit in the air, a shallow fly ball that'll drop into shallow right field. Another run is going to score for post 440. An RBI single for Gately.
Hardly a hard hit.
Hodgson comes around. Tom Byrne up to third. Brennan Mignone will step in. That one low.
Gately's not a threat to steal, but they could put on the same play that Ashland tried to put on last inning. Just get yourself in a pickle.
There's a strike. 1-1. Obid set to deal. Another called strike, 1-2. Well, it's been an interesting game to say the least so far, Larry.
I'll say that call at first.
Up the middle it goes, slow roller picked up by the second baseman who tries to flip it over to Hornung. And Hornung was not able to make that catch, and some hesitation by Bates there. Another run did come around to score as Tom Byrne comes around to score on the error.
Well,
And a
Gately's no
sacrifice
threat.
there for, there would have been a sacrifice, but instead he reached on the error.
Well, errors never help out the pitcher, and this is causing Obid to work his pitch count up.
Swain takes a strike. It's now a 5-0 lead for Newton. There may be very soon some warm-up action for Ashland. Thought I saw some post-77 players down there, but it appears to be some fans. Looks like they got the team jackets on. So that one is up high. 3-1 to Swain. Outside, draws the walk. Bases are juiced for Newton. Mignone up to second, Gately to third, Swain to first. Henry Bonenfant to the plate.
Sean Jewett went out to the mound to talk to Jake Obid. He must be hot once again.
Yeah, and you wonder if that call in the first inning shook up Obid and made him struggle a little bit going forward in that inning. And now, of course, he is struggling a bit in this inning, but the error by Ronan Bates certainly didn't help the situation, as this is hit in the air, a high fly ball over to the right side, and foul it goes.
Ashland's pinched in on the first base and third base side. Cut a ball. Cut a runner down at the plate. It's hit directly at them.
All runners leading off the bag. Bases loaded, one out for Newton. So they try to keep this rally going. That one briefly got by Jouett, but he's able to quickly find it. No advancement by the runners. Obid from the stretch, set to deliver the 1-1. And this is a little bloop shot caught by Rossi. The throw to second, and he will double him up. Nice job by Rossi being aware of the situation, looking for the runner that wasn't on base, and he throws it over to second for the double play, and we will head to the bottom of the third, but Newton plates 2 more and leads 5-0. Bottom of the third inning, post 77, heading back up to the plate. Due up is 8-9-1. Sean Jewett, the catcher. Brad Seymour, the center fielder, and Jake Obid, the pitcher. It's Jewett set to step in. Post 77 needs to get those bats working. They are trailing 5-0. 2 more runs in the top of the inning. 4 post 440. Wind up and the pitch from Coker. There's a strike.
As I mentioned to you between innings, Coach Johnson was really hot under the collar and pointing both index fingers towards his head.
Certainly can't blame him. Yeah, that was a pretty bad error by Bates. A very uncharacteristic error as well. Bates typically does not make errors like that. And Ashland, throughout the season, for the most part, has been a very sound defensive team. Coker deals outside. Did he go around? No, says the first base umpire.
Nothing taken from you if you try.
1-2. Strike 3, got him looking. I'll bring up Brad Seymour, the center fielder. Seymour steps in. There's ball 1. Wind up and the pitch. Ball 2.
That was a good take by Mr. Seymour. Like to have his speed on the base paths.
Certainly would. There's a low one. 3 straight balls thrown by Coker. Seymour was able to draw a pair of walks in yesterday's victory over Somerset. Also hit a single and scored a pair of runs. Takes a strike there. 3-1. Seymour hit only a 200 during the season in 35 at-bats. That'll fill up the count. Was able to draw 9 walks during the season, and actually really didn't start most of the games early on. It was later in the season that he was pretty much an everyday player in the lineup as he draws the walk there.
Jake wants a little payback here.
Obid steps in. Seymour leading off of first, that one outside.
Gately doesn't have a great arm from behind the plate. Seymour's got good speed.
Wind up in the pitch. Upstairs it goes. 2-0. Obid hit a 268 coming into the state tournament. Up the left side, takes a hop on the infield grass over to the third baseman, throw across, and that is in time. 5-3 goes Obid. 2 away. Seymour did move up to second. Ronan Bates to the plate. Bates struggled in yesterday's game. He went 0 for 5 at the plate.
He's tailed off.
Yeah, he's had a rough patch a little bit here in the state tournament so far.
Even the last couple games of the season in the zone playoffs. It's unlike him.
0-1. Now 0-2.
I think they have to plate one here. And that calculation will go into Coach Johnson's head.
Line up in the pitch. Outside it goes. It got away from Gately. Seymour advances on the wild pitch. So it's now 2 outs, runner on third.
So Coach Johnson's got to decide whether he pulls Jake Obid and goes by reliever by committee with a 5-0 deficit.
I think he's going to send Obid back out there next inning at least. That one fouled off. There has been no warm-up action as of yet for post 77 that we are aware of. Time called. 1-2 on Ronan Bates, who struck out his last time up back in the first inning. Outside. Good eye there. 2-2. Set to deal. That one low.
Looked awful close to me.
Full count on Bates. Fouls that one off. Good battle going on here between Coker and Bates.
It's nice to have a nice scoreboard out in right field so you don't have to bring your clicker. Right, Tom?
It certainly is. And a competent scoreboard operator. Up the left side, takes a couple hops. Over to the third baseman, throw across, and it is just in time. 5-3 goes Bates, and no runs will score for post 77. Newton leading 5-0 on WACA-TV and HCAM television in Hopkinton. Top of the fourth inning, 8, 9, and 1 due up. Rich Alexi, Noah Shelton, and Jimmy Hodgson. There's a strike to the right fielder. Jake Obid out there for another inning of work, hoping to have more success than he did last inning. That one's fouled away towards us.
Nice attempt,
I've done
Connor.
a good amount of games here, especially back when I used to cover Milford Legion baseball, and that was the closest I've seen a ball to coming in here, into the press box.
Well, our cameraman,
Yeah, our cameraman almost got that one as well.
he did make an attempt.
I thought he was going to catch it for a moment.
That's a base hit all the way.
It's fouled off.
Can't give him an error for missing that ball.
0-2 to Alexi. Wind up and the pitch. Outside. One-two pitch. That one low. Weather certainly a lot different than it was last night here at Pheno. Temperatures have cooled off a little bit. Game started off at about 68 degrees according to the HCAM Weather Center. Swinging strike for strike number 3, and there is 1 out in the inning. Alexi goes down for his second time by way of the K.
That's why he's hitting 8. But Jake Obid started this inning at 64 pitches.
Yep, certainly getting up there on the pitch count.
There is a threshold, I think, of 75. It requires a certain number of days rest. Now, if the rain can help out, maybe that's the tail end of the tournament time.
Called strike there. One and one. That one low. Two and one. Wind up and the pitch. Inside. 3-1 count to the third baseman, Noah Shelton.
Obid took a walk around the back of the mound just for a sec.
This is up the right side, takes a couple hops on the grass before rolling over to Pessin, who will pick it up, step on the bag, 2-way. That'll bring up the leadoff man, Jimmy Hodgson. 1 for 1, also walked in the first. He has scored 2 runs today. This is the part of the order that has been trouble for Obid. The top of the order for Newton. First pitch is low, 1-0.
I think they're going to ride Jake Obid all the way. There is no bullpen activity at all, so.
You know, I mean, it's 9-inning games. You certainly have to try to roll with your starter as much as you can, because you do not know what to expect in the games following this one.
Last night, post 59, his pitcher went 114 pitches before being yanked.
That one is outside, and it is a 4-pitch walk to Hodgson. Jimmy Hodgson will reach base for his 3rd time in this game. That'll bring up Thomas Byrne, who's 1 for 2 today. Struck out in the first, singled in the third, and scored a run. And he is going to pop this one up, and it will be caught by Jouett. Was that a bunt there, or just a little bit of a swing? So we did have the bunt attempt, and that will be the 3rd and final out of the inning. We will head to the bottom of the 4th. Newton leading Ashland 5-0. Bottom of the 4th inning. 3, 4, and 5 due up for post 77. Hornung, Ben Thomas, and Zach Pessin. And Hornung fouled that one away. It was coming at him, but I think he got a piece of it with the bat, and he did. 0-1.
He felt like he was headhunted there.
Right. I don't think it was anything intentional from Coker. There's strike 2. Oh, and 2. Wind up in the pitch. Up the right side, foul.
Did Jackson hit a line drive back to the pitcher his last time up?
Yes, he did. That one outside. Wind up in the pitch. Here's the ball.
Gately didn't ask for help on that one.
2-2. This is popped up, and behind us it goes. In our nice, cozy press box behind home plate. Great view of the wonderful Pheno Field as this is hit on the ground. Rolls up the infield grass. Throw over by the shortstop. Not in time. The speedy Jackson Hornung beats it out for the leadoff single.
Now that may be the spark that Ashland needed, a leadoff runner.
I'll bring up Ben Thomas. And that is certainly what you want if you're post 77, to get the speedy Jackson Hornung on the base paths. That one upstairs, 1-0.
This was what Jake Obid wants to see after that controversial call in the first inning.
Swinging strike on a nasty breaking ball, 1-1. Coker set to deal, runner leading off of first. That one inside and high. 2-1.
I don't know whether Coker has a pickoff move. He hasn't shown it yet. Maybe he hasn't felt as though he had to.
Upstairs.
Little life in the Ashland dugout now.
Yeah, and I think they need some life. They've been pretty quiet so far tonight. Wind up and the pitch. Inside it goes, and that is ball 4 to Ben Thomas. 2 on, no outs. Hornung moves up to second. Zach Pessin to the plate.
Johnson going to sacrifice Pessin here to move the runners and 2 runners in the scoring position.
We shall see. I'm giving him the green light to swing away. Try to get the rally going. 0-1. Set to deal to Pessin. And he puts this one up the left side. That's going to get through for a base hit. Lead runner being waved around. Here comes Hornung. He comes around to score. And Ben Thomas up to third. It's an RBI double for Zach Pessin.
There is some life in that Ashland dugout.
Still no outs in the inning, and it is a 5-1 ball game. And this is just what the doctor ordered for Ashland post 77. Lewis Rossi will step in, and just like that, post 77 has life.
Well, yesterday tried a suicide squeeze. Rossi's been known to drop a bunt down.
As this is up the middle, it takes a couple hops on the grass, throw over by the second baseman in time, but a run scores. Ben Thomas comes around to score the second post 77 run on the sacrifice RBI ground out by Lewis Rossi.
Tom Onzi had a tough at bat his last time to the plate.
Moving up to third is Zach Pessin.
Now, Tom Onzi in the game against Andover missed a sign, but put a perfect bunt up the first base line, which played it a run, the first run of the game.
And now you have to wonder, Larry, if Brian Coker is maybe getting a little bit tired out there. He's thrown quite a few pitches as well. Onzi swings at that one and fouls it off into the catcher.
Well, I would think that if this was a must-have for Newton, they would have had Mignoni start, but I have a feeling he went above his pitch count in the last game they played against Waltham. That was a good curveball by Coker.
Yep, straight called. Coker looks at third and deals a breaking pitch. Onsi will hit a little bloop shot back to Coker, who's going to throw it away. Over the first baseman's head it goes, and Zach Pessin has scored the third post 77 run of the night. Wow. That is a bad error if you're Newton.
Well, he was doing postal service there. I think it was airmail.
What was that? But post 77 will take it.
Hope our cameraman got that ball, but it took off like a jetliner.
Sean Jouette steps in. There's the bunt up the third base side and foul. A routine, well, what should have been a routine play to end the inning turns into another post 77 run. And let's not forget, you still, or that would have been the second out. Let's not forget, you still have a runner over at second base.
Yeah, Jewett bunt attempt there was the equivalent of a drag bunt for a righty. Strike 2 on him.
The 0-2 count on Jouette. He'll step out to adjust his batting gloves. A 5-3 score. Newton leading Ashland, but post 77 trying to continue this rally. One out in the inning, runner on second. Swinging strike. And that'll be out number 2. Brad Seymour will step in. Seymour walked his last time up, last inning.
Newton's middle infielders are very aggressive at trying to keep the runner close to second base.
I think they know how much speed this post 77 lineup has and how much they like to cause havoc on the base paths. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, 1-1.
Obid on deck, chomping at the bit.
Coker looks at second and is set to deal. Runner taking off, the throw over to third, and it is not going to be in time. They give Onsi the stolen base. That was a close one.
Look for the Newton manager to come out on that one and ask for an explanation. That was a close play.
If you're post 77, though, you
You'll take it.
deserve that after that
that's
call back in the first inning.
I hope you get that on replay.
That pitch is in there for a called strike, 2-2 on Seymour.
For all
Jake
our
Obid,
former
the leadoff hitter, due up next. Up the third base side, and that is gloved by the third baseman. The throw across is a tough one. It's not in time. It got away from the first baseman. A run already in for post 77. It's a 5-4 ball game. I'm giving that a single. That was a tough throw to make.
He should get an extra bag on that one.
Right, it did get away.
Out of play.
Jake Obid will step in. 5-4. Welcome back, post 77.
James Greeley, the manager, is going out to talk to Coker.
Yep, try to settle his pitcher down. And this has to be tough for Coker. That is another play that you thought was going to be an out. Instead, it gets by the first baseman, turns into a run.
Well,
Post
payback is
77 is loving it.
I can't say this is a family-friendly station, but rhymes with itch.
Runner leading off of first. Taking off over to second to throw up. Is not in time. A stolen base for Seymour. And I think Seymour did beat that out. That is a good call there by the umpire. And the coach for Newton doesn't like it at all. James Greeley's going to argue that one.
Wow. Let's play that play in the first inning by looping it for all of our
I thought the
umpires.
I thought the call at third base was a lot closer than
I know,
that
but
one.
we can loop that play in the first inning, and all of our umpires that are home can decide whether that was a interference by the runner.
Well, post 77 has responded. Runner leading off of second, the windup and the pitch. Down low, briefly got away from the catcher. The throw to third is not in time. The speedy Seymour beats it out. It was a good throw, but Seymour, so much speed.
Johnson is animated down to the third base coach's box.
Runner on third, 2 outs, 4 runs in this inning. That pitch outside.
Almost got away from Gately.
3-0 count on Obid. Hit in the air, up the left side, it goes, foul. 3-1. Obid was trying to crush that ball.
He's angry. He's still hot over that play in the first inning.
Coker deals. Up the first base side, past the reach of the first baseman. Fair ball. The game is tied as Seymour comes around to score. Obid still going over to second base. He's loving it. 5-5.
So are his teammates. They're all.
And we're going to have time called so Obid can give over his pad. And you could tell Obid wanted that more than anything. An RBI base hit drives in Seymour.
Coach Johnson is still animated over there.
Bates steps into the batter's box, trying to keep this rally going.
He needs
Post 77 has batted around. That pitch low.
I'm sorry to step on you, but he needs a hit, like oxygen.
Yeah, he certainly does. He is 0 for 7 in this tournament. Wind up and the pitch. And I'm seeing fireworks going off over in right field.
You're safe with me around here, Tom.
Well, there's actual fireworks off in right field, but Post 77 has the fireworks right now in this inning. As that one's fouled away. 2-1.
Milford.
Yeah, Milford's finest is on it. So the police driving by up the street. Runner leading off of second. Wind up and the pitch from Coker. Inside. Surprisingly, no warm-up action yet for Post 440, at least that I have seen.
Maybe they're going to go with what they have, and 77's going to go with what they have. But
3-1 count. And that's going to hit him.
Yep, the wear it, the we got ice, take one for the team chant is going on in that Ashland dugout. I bet you money.
Post 77 has batted around. Jackson Horning step in for the second time this inning.
He's in the 3 spot for a reason. 5-tool player, Jackson Horning.
Certainly is. And this is a dangerous part of the order to be facing right now if you're Post 440.
Gonna go.
Wind up in the pitch. Outside. 1-0. What a turn of events here tonight at Pheno Field. This game has had all kinds of suspense. Up the third base side, past the reach of the third baseman. Lead runner being waved around. Here comes Obed. The throw in is off the mark. Obed scores.
He didn't. The catcher did not give him a lane.
And Obed is loving it. The catcher was looking for interference.
Payback.
But he did not give Obed a path to home plate as he should. And all is well as Jackson Horning over at second base after driving in the lead run. Ronan Bates up to third. It is a single for Hornung, who advanced to second on the throw. Ben Thomas to step to the plate. 6-5, Post 77.
Some unusual calls there the home plate umpires had to make.
Yeah, he's had a tough night over there behind home plate. He's had to make some very tough calls.
Jake's a tough kid. Good-sized kid. But he was going to knock Gately over, that's for sure.
Runners on second and third still. And that's fouled away by the cleanup man. Thomas is 0 for 1 today, but did reach on an error in the second and walked in the fourth and scored a run. He's also stolen a base today. And the runner is off second, so was way off, taking a huge lead. So Coker checks in on second, and the runner slides back. Now, if you're Post 77, you got your cleanup man at the plate, 2 on. Keep this rally going. Don't get thrown out on the base paths.
Who called time?
I believe it might have been an official's timeout there. Coker set to deal. Runner, once again, Jackson Horning with a big lead off of second. There's a called strike. 0-2 now on Ben Thomas.
Nice curveball by Post 440 pitcher.
What a fourth inning this has been. Outside.
Coker's got to be tiring. He's thrown at least 30 pitches this inning, I'd venture to guess.
I would be surprised if it wasn't more than that. And I can't believe Newton has no warm-up action whatsoever. Up the left side, and that takes an awkward hop past the third baseman. It goes. Bates around to score. And it is 7-5, Post 77. The throw over to second to try to get Thomas from the catcher is going to be dropped by the second baseman. The throw was on the mark and would have been in time, but the second baseman could not hold on.
Oh,
An
my
RBI
goodness.
single for Ben Thomas.
I have not seen that 77 team that animated. Everybody came out of the dugout. They smell blood. You got Horning down at third with a big lead.
Zach Pessin steps in. There's a strike, 0-1.
Left that curveball. Most kids at this level will stay away from the curveball.
A 7-run fourth inning for post 77. Wrap your head around that one. Outside.
Do not leave your couch, ladies and gentlemen. Wait for the half-inning break to get some libation or a snack.
Line up and the pitch. Up the middle, and it is gloved by the shortstop. No catch. Throw over to first in time. And finally, the inning will end, but not before post 77, plate 7, and they lead as we will head to the 5th. It is Ashland post 77, 7, Newton post 445. It's Ashland Legion Baseball on WACA-TV in Ashland and HCAM Television in Hopkinton. Top of the 5th inning, 3, 4, and 5. Due up for Newton. As this is ripped up the left side, that gets through for a base hit. And Jack Marzjanek, the second baseman, starts off the 5th with a leadoff single off of Obid.
That brings up number 50, the catcher, Mike Gately.
That'll bring up Mike Gately, the catcher. Post 77 had a 7-run fourth inning. Extremely impressive.
Jake Obid and the home plate umpire met between the mound and home plate. Had a little conversation about that play at the plate.
Runner leading off of first. Obid set to deal. Up the third base side, picked up by Rossi. Throw to second, and they will get the lead runner. And you could tell Rossi's been practicing on those grounders up the line.
Yeah, he was plagued by the yips over there for a couple of games.
So Gately reaches on the 5-3 force out. And now Brendan Mignoni, the first baseman, steps in. Takes that one low.
Gately won't be moving whatsoever.
We'll try to recap the craziness in the bottom of the 4th for you. But this game has taken a huge turn, to say the least. That one fouled into the backstop.
Nice curveball.
It all started with a Jackson Horning single to start off the bottom of the 4th. Ben Thomas then walked. An RBI double from Pessin drove in Horning. And then a sacrifice ground out by Rossi scored the second post 77 run as Thomas came around. And then Tom Onsi reached on an errant throw from the pitcher over to first base. That scored another run. Sean Jewett then struck out. And then Seymour ripped a RBI base hit as this is up the left side and will land into left field for the single. 2 on, 1 out. And that'll bring up Matt Swain, the left fielder. Following the
crushed.
Seymour base hit, it was another RBI base hit from Jackson Horning, and then Ben Thomas followed up with another RBI base hit, and then Pestin grounded out to end the inning. But 7 runs for post 77. But right now it's 2 on for Newton and 1 out as they are trying to respond. Popped up right side, foul territory, out of play it goes. Into the bleachers.
Good hustle by Pessin, Obid, and Jewett, all converging on that play. Jake should save his energy.
Swain steps back in. From the stretch is Obid. Both runners leading. He deals. Fouled into the backstop. Bond and Font due up next for Newton. This game far from over, Larry.
Absolutely.
And Newton does finally have some warm-up action. Up the third base side. What a catch by Rossi. He'll step on the third base bag for one. The throw across, not in time. But Rossi flashing the leather for out number 2.
Everything seems to be going 77's way.
That's a web gem candidate right there.
Absolutely. Once that gets in the editing room, we got to see that in slow motion. He picked it.
Bonenfant steps in. 0 for 2 tonight. Obid set to deal. We're going to talk about the pitch count. Heading into the fourth, it was Coker with 48 pitches, Obid with 64. It's now Coker with 93, Obid with 81 heading into this inning. And I think that shows you how the fourth went for Coker, as that is going to be a 3 unassisted ground out for the third out of the inning. And we will head to the bottom of the fifth, post 77 leading Newton 7-5. Bottom of the fifth inning, post 77, trying to continue the magic from the bottom of the fourth. Lewis Rossi to start things off. Coker is back out there for another inning of work. We'll see if he settles down this inning. First pitch was a strike, as this is going to take a couple of hops on the grass, picked up by the second baseman, and throw over, and 4-3 goes Rossi.
You mean Brooks Robinson, right?
We'll bring up Tom Onsi.
Tom Onsi from Hopkinton. His mom, Nicole, his dad, Doug, here in attendance. And as far as other Ashland fans, well,
that one fouled away.
how do we get more fans out here from Ashland? They're only 2 towns away.
I don't know. And that is dropped by the shortstop. Onsi is going to reach for the second time on an error. And that is another rough error by post 440. That's the 4th error of the game for Newton. Wind up in the pitch, and that is going to hit Jouett. Second hit batter of the game from Coker. Onsi up to second, Jouett over to first. And did the umpire just give him a warning there?
No, I don't think so. Greeley's going to come out anyway,
Here
but
comes Greeley.
I think Onsi made a really great base running play, which you rarely see at this level. He ran down the first base line, even though the shortstop had the ball, and he put the brakes on about 3 steps after going through the bag and turned to his right to see if there was going to be an overthrow. And usually you see at this level kids running through the bag and heading 15 feet down. And there goes Coker.
Well, we are going to have a pitching change for Newton post 440, and I'd say at this point a well-needed one. So with that, we will take a timeout. Ashland leading Newton 7-5 in state tournament baseball action. Continuing on with the bottom of the 5th inning, we have a pitching change. Richard Alexi moves over from right field and takes over on the mound. Jack Marzjanik moves over from second base to take over in right field. That pitch is outside to Brad Seymour. And then over at second base, we believe it's Michael Banks, but we'll have to get a confirmation on that.
He got his 8 warm-up pitches, and that was it.
Wind up in the pitch. There's a called strike. For those of you just joining us, you are missing some very fun baseball, especially if you're a post 77 fan, as there's a swinging strike. Ashland put up 7 runs in the bottom of the 4th. They were trailing 5-0 going in to the bottom of the 4th, but of course now leads 7-5 and trying to add on more here in this bottom of the 5th. 2 on, 1 out. Tom Nappy, Larry Sacklat on the call, Connor Donovan on camera on a beautiful night at Pheno Field in Milford. It is American Legion Baseball State Tournament action. Alexi set to deal. Outside it goes. 2-2 is the count.
Tom, I haven't seen the Ashland players that animated all season long.
Wind up and the pitch. Inside, but a called strike. Out number 2.
Seymour didn't like it, but here comes Jake Obid. And maybe Ashland realizes, since they've never been to this tournament before, they're going to take advantage of it. Have
Right.
some fun.
Absolutely. How can you not?
Oh, Obid wants to launch one.
Wind up and the pitch up the right side. That's going to trickle through for a base hit. Lead runner being waved around. The throw in is going to be not in time. Otzi scores and will throw up to second. Obid safe. And it's an 8-5 ball game. Jake Obid taking out his frustrations on the field. And he gets his second RBI base hit of the game. We'll bring up Ronan Bates. Jewett up to third.
I smell some good cooking for Mr. Bates.
Runners leading off second and third. Alexi set to deal. Inside.
Good
1-0.
take by Ronan.
Bottom of the 5th inning. An 8-5 Ashland lead. Leg lift and the pitch. That one low.
After that 16 burger that Ashland put on Somerset, you had 8. That's 24 runs in 2 games. I don't mind, do you, Tom?
I like it. 2 outs, 2 on. And this is a very slow roller up the grass. No one's going to get to it in time. And another post 77 run's going to score. The throw home, and they have Obid in a pickle. He runs out of the base paths, and he's out. I think he tried to do a little bit too much with that there, but why not try to keep the momentum going? But no harm, no foul, as another post 77 run does score. And we will head to the top half of the 6th with Ashland leading Newton 9-5. Top of the 6th inning, a 9-5 lead now for Ashland post 77. 8-9-1 due up for Newton. Rich Alexi, who started the game in right field, now pitching, steps into the batter's box to face Jake Obid. Wind up and the pitch. Fouled off. 0-1.
I got you covered. I got you covered. I think it's Dylan O'Leary warming up in the post 77 bullpen.
And we got word that the Newton second baseman is now Willie Hodgson, as there's a swinging strike.
Got the Hodgson brothers up the middle. Nice to see Coach Matt Anderson from the Northeast Longhorns down here.
Swinging
looking at
strike
his
there.
proteges.
There's out number 1. That'll bring up Noah Shelton.
Assistant pitch, he's a head pitching coach for Hopkins High. Runs a nice academy out of Holliston.
Well, you couldn't ask for better weather tonight for baseball, so why not get down here to Fino? There's a strike. Oh and 1. Obid deals. Fouled off.
He knows this may be his last inning, so he's going to let everything out of the hose.
Set to deliver. Leg lift and the pitch. Outside. 1-2.
I should have brought my pillow to the game.
Strike 3. Got him looking. Obid feeling it at the plate, feeling it on the mound, and racking up the Ks.
A little
Jimmy
helmet
Hodgson,
throwing
the
on.
shortstop, will step in.
Looks like there's going to be some helmet throwing from that last batter.
Newton certainly must be frustrated by now. 6 Ks in this game for Obid. Strike 1 there to Hodgson.
He's been a little pest today, Hodgson.
Up the third base side and takes a couple hops on the grass. Picked up by Rossi. Throw to first, not a problem. 5-3 goes Hodgson, and 1-2-3 goes Newton post 440. In the top of the sixth, to the bottom of the inning we go. Ashland leading 9-5 on HCAM and WACA-TV. Bottom of the sixth inning, 3, 4, and 5 due up for post 77. Jackson Horning, the shortstop, steps in to face Richard Alexi. Alexi in his second inning of work, and this is up the middle, gloved by the second baseman off the hop, and the throw to first, no problem. 4-3 on the out. That'll bring up Ben Thomas, the cleanup hitter. He's having a pretty good night. 1 for 2 at the plate. Did reach on an error. Walked and scored a run as well. Also has an RBI to his credit.
There's a big gap in right center field right now.
Swinging strike there. Wind up and the pitch. Fouled off. Set to deal. Breaking ball up high.
That had absolutely no snap to it.
1-2 count on the cleanup man. Swinging strike, and he got him 2 away. Alexi has been in the game since coming in after Jouett was hit by a pitch in the 5th. And despite 2 runs scoring during his outing, they were both credited to Coker. So Coker gave up 9 runs officially. We'll have to go back and see how many earned runs that was. I believe it was 7 earned runs.
The ball fouled back by Pessin. I think Coach Johnson's going to send Obed back out there, given the short inning, and Pessin takes one on the arm for the team, takes first base.
Larry taking over on play-by-play for a minute there.
I thought you were sleeping.
Oh, I can't sleep during this. You kidding me?
A lot of
Rossi will
runs.
step in.
A lot of runs his last 2 days.
Absolutely. A lot of action to call, to say the least. Runner on first, 2 outs, check in, runner back safe.
Almost thrown away. I will take you to Wendy's tonight after the game for one of those Baconator sandwiches.
From the stretch is Alexi. He deals. There's a swinging strike.
Big hack by Rossi.
Checking at first, runner back safe.
Once again, almost thrown away.
The thing I like most about this post-77 team is they are always hungry to score more runs. They are not going to settle ever. That one inside, little chin music. 1-1. Rossi is 0 for 2, but also has a sacrifice RBI groundout. That came in the 7-run bottom of the 4th. There's a called strike, 1-2.
For those of you watching on WACA, you had to get your fannies down here and watch some good baseball action.
I agree. That one low. 2-2. Or HCAM. I think everybody should get down here.
Got to make a better showing than
baseball.
this.
It doesn't get any better than this. Wind up and the pitch. Runner taking off from first, but he'll have to go back because that one's fouled away.
He's a tough out, Louis Rossi.
Certainly is.
The
Battles
pest.
every at-bat. Batted a .323 coming into the state tournament. .452 on base percentage. Impressive numbers.
You never know where he's going to hit that ball.
Checking at first, runner back safe.
standing. And one of these times, he's going to throw that ball away. Newton can't afford to give up another run.
Lewis Rossi, one of the 11 Holliston high schoolers on this team, will take strike 3 there. And that is going to wrap up the bottom of the 6th, with Post 77 leading 9-5 as we head to the top of the 7th. Top of the 7th inning, 2, 3, and 4 due up for Newton. Thomas Byrne, Jack Marzjanik, and Mike Gately to step in to face Jake Obed, who's out there battling into the 7th inning.
He's got 100 pitches.
There's a swinging strike.
Seems to be getting stronger as the game gets longer.
He certainly does. He deals outside. 1-1.
You're a mathematician, are you, Tom?
It depends.
Aside from that one stressful inning he had.
And this is a slow roller up the middle, but picked up by Obed, no problem. 1-3 for out number 1.
6 divided in 100 is what, 15 per inning?
That brings up number 11, Jack Marzjanik.
Jack Marzjanik will step in. I don't know, 1.9. I don't exactly know what stat you're trying to add there, as that one's low.
Pitches per inning.
That's about 19.
Okay.
Wind up and the pitch.
You minus out that
There's a
really
strike.
rough first inning. He hasn't had too much stress, and he's keeping it under 15 pitches an inning. So that's really good.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's been, since the first inning, really, it's been pretty well for Jake Obed out there on the mound. And let's not forget, a couple of the runs did score unearned. 1-2. And there's out number 2.
Jake Obed is really throwing.
He's throwing gas now. It seems his velocity
It's
has gone
personal.
up these
It's
last couple
personal now.
innings.
You got to get an interview with Jake Obed after the game, and I'll bet you he said it was personal.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Post 77 trying to stay in the winner's bracket. They're a couple innings away from doing so. Up 9-5 here in Game 2 of the state tournament, as there is a strike to the cleanup man, catcher Mike Gately. 1-1.
For you mathematicians at home who already figured out what, right off the end of the bat, 16.666 pitches per inning. You minus out that first inning where you throw a lot of pitches. He's been pretty efficient.
Not too bad. This is hit high in the air, a shallow pop-up foul territory, and it is caught for the third out of the inning as the first baseman, Zach Pessin, ranges over to make the catch, and that will do it for the top half of the 7th. To the bottom of the inning we go. Ashland leading Newton 9-5. Tom Otzi to start things off for Post 77 here in the 7th. All kinds of defensive changes for Newton Post 440, including a new pitcher. Thomas Byrne has moved in from center field to take over. He's the third pitcher of the night for Post 440. And we'll see how he fares against Tom Otzi, who fouls that one away. And then in the outfield, we got Jack Marzjanik in left field. He started the game at second base. And then in center field, it's Matt Swain, who started the game in left field. So that one got by the catcher. Willie Hodgson remains in the game at second base.
Well, Tom, I understand there's a hard stop on the pitch count at 120. Obed's up to 111. So does Coach Johnson give Dylan O'Leary a clean inning? Slow hit ball.
That takes a couple hops, picked up by the shortstop, and he will get the throw over in time. 6-3 for Onsi. I think you let Obid throw those 9 pitches. Rest your relievers as much as you can. But either decision is understandable. As Jouett swings at that one and a foul tip, 0-1. If Post 77 is able to close this one out, they will be back here tomorrow night for a 7:30 p.m. start time, of course, as long as the weather cooperates. Up the third base side, takes a couple hops, picked up by Shelton, throw over, and they get him. 2-way. Brad Seymour to step in.
Number 9 hitter.
Seymour having a good night at the plate, 1 for 2. Also walked and has an RBI and a run scored. We'll have some warm-up action for Post 77. Wind up and the pitch. That is low. It's Tim Ringy getting loose.
He pitched yesterday, so I'm not sure whether he went over his limit. Number 20.
Wind up and the pitch outside.
Gets away from Gately again. I'm wondering whether they would send Jake Obid out to the outfield. He's an excellent defender.
There's a called strike, 2-1. Yeah, I don't think Obid's coming out of this game. I think he'll probably stay in somewhere in the outfield. Unless maybe they want to rest him, but I doubt he wants to come out of this game. 3-1 on Seymour. It's very possible that either Onsi or Seymour comes out of the game.
They moved Thomas over to right, I have a feeling, and put Obid in his natural position.
Seymour draws the walk, a 2-out walk. They'll bring up Jake Obid.
He's happier than, well, he's just happy kid right now.
This game started off not looking well for Post 77 at all, but wow, what a turn of events we have seen throughout the course of the evening.
Brad Seymour is getting a tremendous lead over there, and he hasn't even seen the move.
The 1-0 pitch. Obid swings at that one and fouls it away. 1-1 on the pitcher. He's 2 for 4 at the plate. A couple RBIs and a run scored. That one is inside. He thought he got hit, but the umpire says, no, you didn't. 2-1. I thought that might have nicked his jersey. But
I did too. I heard something. And it wasn't the bat.
Obid didn't even argue it, though. He's fine. Continuing to hit. Runner taking off from first to throw up. Not in time and off the mark. Seymour with a stolen base. That's his second stolen bag of the game.
I was just going to say, does Coach Johnson give up Seymour and have Obid lead off the next inning?
Well, yeah, really, in that scenario, you can't lose. And there's ball 4. Obid drawing the walk. Ronan Bates will step in. Wind up and the pitch. Check swing and there's strike.
Ronan is off to University of Massachusetts in Lowell.
0-1 on Bates.
May try to walk on.
That one low, gets by the catcher. Runner from second advances, and so does the runner from first. A wild pitch allows Seymour to head over to third. Obid follows suit. 1-1 on Bates, who broke his 0 for 6 slump today in his last at-bat. in the 5th inning had an RBI single that scored Sean Jouett, and that was the 9th post-77 run of the evening. That one low. 3-1. Byrne is struggling here in the 7th.
Mightily. And Coach Greeley might be playing the long game here because he's got Mignoni available, but he didn't start tonight's game. And Coach Johnson also playing the long game.
Byrne deals this hit high in the air to left field. Fair territory and caught by Marzjanek, and that is going to be the final out of the bottom of the 7th, and we will head to the top of the 8th. Ashland leading Newton 9-5. Top of the 8th inning, 5, 6, and 7 due up for Newton. Brennan Mignoni will start things off, the first baseman. He is 2 for 3. Pair of singles, reach on an error, pair of RBIs, and a run scored. Fouls that one into the backstop. Jake Obid back out there in the 8th inning. He has not given up a run since the 3rd.
Newton's being very aggressive at the plate.
There's ball 1, 1-1.
If Obid can get through a couple hitters.
And this is sliced into center field, a leadoff single for Mignoni, who's been a pest all night for Obid. They'll bring up Matt Swain.
They're going through a lot of eggs tonight, Tom. Maybe 10 or 15 eggs a game.
A lot of contact being made. Obid checks in at first. Runner slides back safe.
Anything hit to our left in foul territory, you can forget about that ball.
Obid set to deal. There's a ball. Runner leading off the first base bag. Obid deals. That one is low. 2-0. Well, post 77 has gotten a couple pitchers loose. See how long Obid stays in there, but this one's up the third base side. That's a fair ball. And the lead runner, Mignoni, going to keep going to third, and he will be safe because that one took a long roll up the left side. So that is going to mean that there are 2 runners in scoring position with no outs. And Henry Bonifat was due up, but we are going to have a pinch hitter. TJ Goldblatt will step in.
He pitched last night in the victory over Milford.
Actually, according to the program, it's Coker who's 9, but Coker's actually 17. Wind up and the pitch. This one's popped up and fouled off.
Greenblatt pitched very well last night in relief of Rodney O'Connor.
And we have a stoppage here.
Question is whether he can finish this batter or he's going to have a hard stop.
He's at 119. I'm hearing down there. So this might be his last pitch right here. And it's a strike. He is going to stay in. 1-2. Leg lift and the pitch. Fouled off. And that is a fair ball, at least they thought. But then the home plate ump says it's foul.
Jewett might be a little shaken up. I think he took one on the mask.
That was foul. I don't know what the debate was there. Yeah, they're going to check in on Jewett. Hopefully he's okay. seems to be all right.
Umpire courtesy, the trainer.
And he's checking out the baseball now. The umpire looking at the baseball. And the Newton coach, James Greeley, not liking the call of a foul ball there.
Well, I'll go back to the first inning and the runner's interference, and he can't argue anything tonight.
I don't know why it was thought that that was a fair ball initially. I'm not sure what it hit. Obviously, it was something on the front of the hitter. Or maybe he thought it hit the dirt just in front of home plate.
Well, he called it a foul ball, and that's what I saw.
Obed, if I'm not mistaken, is walking with a little bit of a limp there.
He's got to be gassed. But he went to tend to Jewett, his battery mate, there to make sure he was okay.
The umpires are talking something over here.
Foul ball.
Yep, they're going to have a conference and go with the foul ball call. 1-2 on Bon and Font. This game is not over yet. This Newton lineup, they can put together a rally, and they have 2 on with no outs right now. Obed set to deal. And there's a ball. 2-2.
Obed knows this is his last hitter, absolutely.
It has to be.
He's going to let loose.
That one low, full count. He's struggling. He's starting to get tired now.
Jonathan Pessin earlier was warming up in the bullpen.
If I'm counting correctly, he's at 125 now. There's strike 3. Got him. And he is going to walk right over towards the post 77 bench.
They're bringing in Onzi. They're switching Ben Thomas over to right field, and Jake Obed, not done for the evening. He's going to take over in left field.
But first, let's see what's going on here. They might be going over the lineup, and the Newton coach, James Greeley, getting a warning from the home plate umpire. Yeah, they're going to talk about the lineup with the umpire. We'll take a timeout, and then we'll get you updated on all the changes. It's the top of the 8th. Ashland post 77 leading Newton and state tournament Legion baseball action here at Pheno Field in Milford, 9-5. Oh, it was 8. Back to top of the 8th action. New pitcher for post 77. Dylan O'Leary takes over for Jake Obed. As Rich Alexi steps in, and that one is going to get by Jewett. A run is going to come home to score. And Mignone will make it a 9-6 ball game on the wild pitch. Up to third is Swain. This game is not over yet, Larry. 1 out, runner on third. Dylan O'Leary deals. There's a strike.
I had a talk with Dylan's father the other day at the Andover game and mentioned that Dylan has to repeat what works.
Right. That one low. For those of you just joining us, it has been one exciting game here at Pheno Field. And that one going to get by Jewett. Took an awkward bounce in front of him, and another run scores. I'm giving that one a pass ball. It is now 9-7, and just like that, Newton's within 2. You're tuned into Ashland Legion Baseball State Tournament action. Tom Nappy, Larry Sacklat on the call as head coach Derek Johnson going to have a talk with Dylan O'Leary to try to settle him down. And now Sean Jewett will come out as well. They do have Tim Ringy loose as well. And I think the leash is going to be really short with O'Leary if he continues to struggle.
Well, there are 5 outs left for post 440.
We'll get you the line on Jake Obed after this pitch. Line up and the pitch. Fouled off. Obed went 7 1/3. giving up 5 runs, 4 of which were earned, 8 hits, and 8 strikeouts for Jake Obid. Fouled into the backstop there. That'll fill up the count. And Coach Johnson really wants O'Leary to at least battle through this 8th inning. That one's fouled away. He is going to send, it looks like,
Jonathan Pesson.
yeah, Jonathan Peston, and I believe Ringy was also with him. Alexi is 0 for 3 tonight.
That's it. Oh,
And that is going to be ball 4, according to the home plate umpire. Puts runners on the corners.
O'Leary was
Excuse me,
really
a runner
animated
at
there.
first, as both runners at reach base this inning scored on wild pitches. Noah Shelton steps in. That one outside. 1-0 on the third baseman. 1 on, 1 out, 2 in. 9-7 lead for Ashland. That is outside. 2-0. O'Leary is struggling. And that ball 4 call might have gotten his head, as he thought that was a strike all the way. 3-0, that one inside.
Get good defense behind it, Dylan.
Top of the order coming up for Newton. Pending a double play here. And Shelton will reach via the walk. 2 straight walks for O'Leary. Alexi up to second. Shelton to first. Jimmy Hodgson, the shortstop, to the plate. I don't know if I'm leaving O'Leary in for this hitter. But they are going to roll with him. That one outside.
When he's on, he's on. When he's off.
Deals outside there, 2-0.
He yanked that pitch.
Jouette going to have a discussion with O'Leary, try to settle him down. Coach Johnson is going over to the warm-up area to see if anyone's ready to go. Jouette will do a slow walk back behind home plate.
He's just a really bright kid, Sean Jewett.
Leg lift and the pitch. There's a strike. 2
Now
and
repeat
1.
that. Repeat that, Dylan.
He deals. And this is hit in the air to right field, and it is caught. Runner from second is going to tag and head to third, and he will be successful in doing so. But did he tag? And no, he didn't. It's a double play. Great heads-up baseball by Ronan Bates, realizing the runner did not tag, steps on second base and gets the out. And that is a great momentum shift towards post 77. We will head to the bottom of the 8th. Ashland leading Newton 9-7 on WACA-TV and HCAM. Bottom of the 8th inning, Jackson Horning, the shortstop, steps in. It is a 9-7 ball game after Newton gets 2 back in the top of the inning. But the rally was shut down by a double play, a fly out to center field, and then Bates able to catch the runner that took off to third base, not tagging up, and he was out as Bates stepped on the bag, and now Horning takes one for the team and will head down to first base.
Manager Greeley going out there. If 77 can plate a couple of runs, they'll have some breathing room.
The umpire's talking with the pitcher, and we're going to have a new pitcher. This is going to be the 4th pitcher of the game for Newton. Looks like Burns going to stay in the game and head back to the outfield. And who do we have pitching now? Number 22. We'll get you the details on all the changes for Newton when we get back after this short break. It's Ashland Legion Baseball on WACA-TV and HCAM. fourth pitcher of the game for Newton post 440. It's Jimmy Hodgson moving over to take over on the mound. And he will deliver strike one to Ben Thomas. Hodgson started the game at shortstop. Checking at first, runner slides back safe. The new shortstop is Jack Marzjanek, who is now at his third position of the game. Started at second base, went to left field, now at short. Wind up in the pitch to Thomas, and that one is low. 1-1 on Thomas. Runner on first, no outs. Post 77 would love some insurance. That one low.
It looked awful good, Tom. Jackson is
checking at first. Runner slides back.
Got in the head of Hodgson a little bit. He made a hard break for second base and put on the brakes the previous pitch to that.
He deals. Swinging strike. A catcher threatening a throw down to first. 2-2.
You might see ghosts out of his peripheral vision.
Right.
With Jackson.
Hodgson deals. Swinging strike. There's out number 1. That'll bring up Zach Pessin. Newton will be down to their final 3 outs after post 77 gets done here in the bottom of the 8th. They'll have to score at least 2 to keep this game going. There's a strike.
But Ashland will have the last say should they tie it up. We'll go ahead.
That one outside briefly got away from Gately, but he recovers nicely. 1-1. Checking at first. Runner slides back safe.
Hodgson was not available yesterday.
Due up after Pessin is Lewis Rossi. That one outside. 2-1. Pessin has been hit by a pitch twice today. Had an RBI double in the 4th as part of that 7-run bottom of the 4th. And he is grounded out. Takes one low there. 3-1 now.
I would send Jackson on this 3-1 pitch.
Fouled into the backstop.
That's why I'm not the coach, Tom.
From the stretch. That is fouled off. Well, no matter how this game ends, Newton has had to really dig into their bullpen. And it will take a toll on the Newton pitching staff. Wind up in the pitch. Up the left side, picked up by the third baseman. The throw to first, and they got him. And now the runner from second taking off for third. He's safe. Jackson Hornung able to slide in there and take advantage of the situation.
He didn't even stop.
6-3 ground out for Pessin. 2 outs. Runner on third. Lewis Rossi to the plate.
I like this matchup, Tom.
Absolutely.
He's been known to do some crazy things like lay a bunt down the third baseline with Jackson Horning over there.
And we'll foul that into the backstop. Rossi is 0 for 3 today, but has a sacrifice RBI ground out. I'd say he is due for a hit. Check in at third, and the runner is picked off. He's going to head home. The third baseman bobbled the ball. The throw to the plate is going to be off the mark. The catcher could not lay the tag on Hornung, and it's another post-77 run. 10-7, Ashland. Jackson Hornung stealing home. Why not?
Seen everything.
And this post-77 team continuing to show off the wheels on the base paths. Now one inside, 1-1. Wind up and the pitch, outside. He deals up the middle, glove by the pitcher, Hodgson. He'll get it over to first, and that will be the final out of the bottom of the 8th, but not before post-77 scores one more. It's 10-7, heading to the top of the 9th on HCAM and WACA-TV. Top of the 9th, Newton down to their final 3 outs. Dylan O'Leary out there for his second inning of relief. Delivers the first pitch up high to Byrne. He came in relief while the 8th was in progress. And the inning ended after 2 more Newton runs scored, but it ended on a double play, which was a huge momentum boost, as this bunt is a slow roller up the middle, and the throw off the mark gets by the first baseman, and Byrne is going to head over to second base, and he will get one on the overthrow. Runner on second, no outs. Game not over yet. Jack Marzjanek to step in. Actually, it will be Marzjanek. So Byrne reaches on the error. That one outside.
You know CPR, Tom? It's getting a little tight.
It certainly is. There's a strike. First error of the game for Ashland. Well, this game has had all the suspense you could ask for both of these teams. Up the middle, glove by the shortstop, throw to first, not a problem. 6-3 goes Marzjanek. One away, one on.
Hornung froze the runner at second base, so he couldn't go anywhere, or he would have been dead meat at third base.
Mike Gately steps in. The catcher having a pretty good day at the plate. We'll send this one into center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Byrne is going to be waved around third and will easily score Newton's 8th run of the night. An RBI single for Gately. Tying run coming to the plate.
Here comes Derek Johnson.
Yeah, I think if you're Coach Johnson, you need to think about pulling O'Leary here. Let's see if he takes the baseball. You might leave him out there. Well, just a discussion at the moment. I can't imagine, even if he does leave him out there for this next hitter, that the leash is going to be much longer. This is a game now that you really have to take. This could make or break your state tournament.
I wonder what Jake Obid is thinking about out there in left field.
Right. Yeah, Jake Obid did stay in the game and move to the outfield as expected.
Is this a pinch hitter?
Brendan Mignon steps in. And he will foul that one away. Mignon is 3 for 4 today.
Got a little stinger there.
Scored a pair of runs as well and has an RBI.
Gately no threat to steal.
And that one is going to get by Jouett and the runner from first. Gately will advance on the wild pitch. Runner on second, one out. Leg lift and the pitch. Just up high. 2-1. On the ground, up the middle, picked up by Bates. Throw to first, 2 away. Gately did advance to third. 4-3 goes Mignone. Newton down to their final out.
John Jewett has got to block anything and anything. Everything and anything.
O'Leary in line for the save here, if he can get the final out. There's a strike, 1-1 on Swain. O'Leary deals. Just high. 2-1. Wind up and the pitch. Hit in the air, a high fly ball to right field. Now going over towards foul territory. The dive by Thomas, and he almost had it but could not come up with it. It was in foul territory, so no harm done. A great effort by Thomas.
Newton's down to the last strike.
Yep. 2-2. Thomas started the game in left field, moved over to right, so Obed could take over in left. O'Leary set to deal. Did he go? No. Full count. There is warm-up action for post 77. Hit in the air, fouled away. The battle continues. The suspense continues.
I got to see a manicurist tomorrow.
Hit in the air, a high fly ball to center field, ranging in and making the catch for the final out is the center fielder. Brad Seymour ends the game as he makes the catch, and post 77 has won 10-8 over Newton.
What a game.
What a game. That was unbelievable. I don't know if it's possible to have any more action in a baseball game than that. What a battle these two teams had here this evening. Absolutely unbelievable. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back and recap this game, but let's keep the cameras rolling while these two teams shake hands. They both played extremely well tonight. Ashland Post 77 defeated Somerset in Game 1 of the state tournament, 16-2 on Saturday, July 22nd, which meant for the Sunday, July 23rd game, they earned a date with District 5 foe Newton under the lights at Pheno Field in Milford. Post 77 lost to Newton both times they played them this season, so would they get revenge? Top of the first, Newton got the offense started early. Going to allow Hodgson the easy advance to second base. A frustrating situation here where you clearly see some runner's interference, but the no call has Jake Obed heated. Runner leading off of second, Obed takes a look and now is set to deal. This is hit in the air to right field, and that is going to drop down for a base hit. Being waved around third is Hodgson, and it is going to be 1-0 Newton, an RBI double for Marzjanek. Newton put up 3 runs in the first and then added 2 more in the third and led 5-0 until Ashland came up in the bottom of the fourth. Set to deal to Pessin, and he puts this one up the left side. That's going to get through for a base hit. Lead runner being waved around. Here comes Hornung. He comes around to score, and Ben Thomas up to third. It's an RBI double for Zach Pessin.
There is some life in that Ashland dugout.
As this is up the middle, it takes a couple hops on the grass, throw over by the second baseman in time, but a run scores. Ben Thomas comes around to score the second post 77 run on the sacrifice RBI ground out by Lewis Rossi. Coker looks at third and deals a breaking pitch. Otzi will get a little boot shot back to Coker, who's going to throw it away. Over the first baseman's head it goes, and Zach Pessin has scored the third post 77 run of the night. Wow. That is a bad error if you're Newton. Coker looks at second and is set to deal. Runner taking off to throw over to third, and it is not going to be in time. They give Onsi the stolen base. That was a close one. Hitter due up next. Up the third base side, and that is gloved by the third baseman. The throw across is a tough one. It's not in time. It got away from the first baseman. A run already in for post 77. It's a 5-4 ball game. I'm giving that a single. That was a tough throw to make. Taking off over to second to throw up is not in time. A stolen base for Seymour, and I think Seymour did beat that out. That is a good call there by the umpire. Evan has responded. Runner leading off of second, the lineup and the pitch. Down low, briefly got away from the catcher. The throw to third is not in time. The speedy Seymour beats it out.
He's angry. He's still hot over that play in the first inning.
Coker deals up the first base side, past the reach of the first baseman. Fair ball. The game is tied as Seymour comes around to score. Obed still going over to second base. He's loving it. 5-5. This game has had all kinds of suspense. Up the third base side, past the reach of the third baseman. Lead runner being waved around. Here comes Obed. The throw in is off the mark. Obed scores.
The catcher did not give him a lane.
And Obed is loving it. The catcher was looking for interference.
Payback.
But he did not give Obed a path to home plate, as he should. And all is well as Jackson Horning over at second base after driving in the lead run. Ronan Bates up to third. Has no warm-up action whatsoever. Up the left side, and that takes an awkward hop past the third baseman. It goes. Bates around to score. And it is 7-5 post 77. The throw over to second to try to get Thomas from the catcher is going to be dropped by the second baseman.
A 7-run inning, 7-5 remained the score until post 77 came up again the very next inning.
Wind up in the pitch up the right side. That's going to trickle through for a base hit. Lead runner being waved around. The throw in is going to be not in time. Onsi scores and will throw up to second. Obed safe. And it's an 8-5 ball game. Jake Obed taking out his frustrations on the field. And he gets his second RBI base hit of the game. Routes 2 on. And this is a very slow roller up the grass. No one's going to get to it in time. And another post 77 run's going to score. The throw home, and they have Obed in a pickle. He runs out of the base paths, and he's out.
2 more in the 5th, 9-5 post 77. But in the top of the 8th, Newton was looking for a comeback against relief pitcher Dylan O'Leary.
Whoa. For those of you just joining us, it has been one exciting game here at Pheno Field. And that one going to get by Jouett. Took an awkward bounce in front of him, and another run scores.
Newton closed in. It's 9-7, 1 out, 2 on. Jimmy Hodgson at the plate.
He deals. And this is hit in the air to right field, and it is caught. Runner from second is going to tag and head to third, and he will be successful in doing so. But did he tag? And no, he didn't! It's a double play!
A great throw in from center field. Ronan Bates catches the runner, not tagging up, and they get out of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th now. Could post 77 add some insurance?
Check in at third, and the runner is picked off. He's going to head home. The third baseman bobbled the ball. The throw to the plate is going to be off the mark. The catcher could not lay the tag on Hornung, and it's another post 77 run. 10-7, Ashland.
Ashland led 10-7 heading to the top of the 9th. Newton down to their final 3 outs, but they weren't ready to give up just yet.
Catcher having a pretty good day at the plate. We'll send this one into center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Byrne is going to be waved around third and will easily score Newton's 8th run of the night. An RBI single for Gately. hit in the air, a high fly ball to center field, ranging in and making the catch for the final out is the center fielder.
Newton gets one run, but it's not enough as Ashland post 77 takes them down by a final of 10-8 and improves their record in the state tournament to 2-0 and most importantly stays in the winner's bracket. Post 77 next meets up with Braintree on Tuesday, July 25th, 7:30 p.m. at Pheno Field in Milford under the lights. Jake Obid went 2 for 4 at the plate, had a walk, a couple RBIs, and a run scored. He also pitched 7 1/3, striking out 8, and battled through a very tough Newton lineup. He was all smiles and so happy to capture the W against the Division 5 foe.
I mean, we definitely in the start of the game, we fell away from our approach we've had all season. And myself included, especially. I come out there, I was way too hyped. I walked the guy on 4 pitches. I think I threw 30 in the first and then like another like 25 or 30 in the third inning. So, I mean, take away those. I mean, I would have hopefully been able to go all 9. But I mean, we had a little meeting. We got back to our approach, and all it took was just scoring that first run, just getting that first guy across, and then right after that, it just kept carrying over. I think we got 7 or 8 in that inning. So that was, I mean, yeah, that was unbelievable. And I mean, it just speaks volumes of this team. 1 through 9, we can hit. Everybody can play the field. Everybody has each other's backs, and we're all resilient. We don't quit. And we have fun while we're doing it, too, which is the best part.
You certainly seemed like you had a lot of fun out there today, that's for sure. Now, in that first inning, you got frustrated when it was a clear interference with the runner, trying to get to first base. There was clearly some interference there. You didn't like the call. You ended up giving up a few runs, but then you seemed to settle down. Could you talk about what was going through your head when that call was made? Was it just anger, or what was going through your head when that happened?
I mean, so when I got up and grabbed the ball, I was expecting to see the umpire holding his fist up for an out. I mean, he thought it wasn't interference, but they had an umpire up there who said it was. Anyway, so I mean, I was definitely angry because then it started to spiral. But I should not have let that call get to me. I should have settled in, stuck with my approach, and just thrown strikes. But I got a little too pissed, and I was getting pissed at everything. My teammates too. But I mean, they had my back, and they picked me up when I needed it, and then I was able to get on a roll. And then in the third, I think I let up 2 more, and I was just, I mean, thanks to Babs was in here literally.
No one's in there anymore.
No, all right, get out of here. Babs was in here after every inning, talking to me, settling me down, and that helped me really gain my composure and keep it when things got rough a little bit.
Well, then on the 7-run rally, you seemed like you were having the time of your life out there. You were all smiles out there, and I believe we caught you dancing on the mound a few times.
Oh yeah, I was playing Beat It. I could not. I was dancing my wind-up,
And it seemed like after that happened, though, you had to go prove something. You wanted revenge.
Yeah.
So what was it like to get that revenge? It had to taste pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, and especially against this team. I mean, that's a very good team, but I hate those kids. I hate every single kid on that team. So that was sweet, and it was. I find it really funny that they tried to talk to us, talk some smack after losing in a state tournament game. So.
All right, well, how's the arm feeling, by the way, after 125 pitches or so?
So the arm before this game, feeling horrible. Adrenaline's pumping right now. It feels great. When I wake up in the morning, I don't even know if it'll be there. I don't even know when I turn over and look. I don't know if it's going to still be attached to my body. So we'll have to see come 9 a.m. tomorrow.
All right, well, we'll let you go rest up and get ready for tomorrow night's game. Congratulations on a great one tonight, Jake.
I appreciate it.
Excellent. And now head coach Derek Johnson. Coach, that had to be an emotional roller coaster for everyone on the team and you. What an unbelievable game that was. Can you just talk about what was going through your head throughout this wild, wild game tonight?
No, I was excited coming in here. We got the first win in, I think, our program's history in the States. I think the problem is, what took him off his game is just uptight, nervous. Exactly. His adrenaline, his heart was going through the roof when I went out there in the first inning. And, we just got to settle down and, get back to our game. And I told him, I go, this is nothing like just like the Medford game. You go down 8-2, you're going to come back. You just got to keep fighting. And then they were just all uptight, and Babbo was huge. Babbo was huge. He got Jake calmed down, got through that inning, got through the next inning. Like Jake said, we get that first run. and the momentum goes, and we just pedal to the ground.
And what do you think led to that 7-run rally? Do you think it was wanting to beat this Newton team so bad that really just gave them the adrenaline to just have a crazy inning like that to score 7 runs? Do you think adrenaline played a part in that inning?
I think it was, and then it was just like, they got back to how we play baseball. We want to have fun. They were quiet. They, like I said, I'm going to say it over and over, uptight. Right. We're a loose team. And once we got loose, you get that first one, the kids start cheering, loosen them up, and it's effective.
Well, Coach, it's been a lot of fun so far, and we're looking forward to more fun games, including tomorrow night. We'll let you go rest up. Congratulations on another W.
Thank you. Thank you.